What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with ChasingCinema.com, and we are here to watch Back to the Future Part 2. I'm sorry, we're here to watch Project ALMANAC.
ALMANAC.
That word is hard for me to say.
Okay, Project ALMANAC.
Which was originally titled
ALMANAC. And before that, there was something else, but I don't remember what it was.
Yes.
Was there something? Do you know what it is?
When we finish, I'll Google it.
You don't remember? Okay. Yeah, I know it had a few different names. They were juggling it. So to
Not
me,
a good sign.
And like you said, to me, it's a big flag for saying we're going to do a great homage to Back to the Future 2. But let's look at the movies as an element right now. So the film is MTV produced. So I haven't really seen it. I can't think of a movie that they produced in quite some time. So I think that's going to be kind of an interesting aspect, but we already know that demographic because if MTV is producing it, and we look at what MTV produces on their station, which used to be a music network, but now is just a reality show about young teenagers in that 17, 19 age frame, kids who are going to college or getting out of high school. That's their kind of demographic. And we're mixing in the element of found footage. How do you feel about found footage? Because I think this is a really sometimes great technique to help filmmakers save money and to help kind of tell a story from a different perspective. However, I find it also a very big, I don't want to say crutch, but a very big issue sometimes because it also gets people going, well, that wouldn't work in found footage film, or that doesn't make sense. Why would they film that? How do you feel about found footage films?
To be honest with you, when I first saw the first ever found footage for me, I think the one that first started was Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool concept. And then once that made money and once people saw in Hollywood, oh my gosh, this type of movie, this type of genre can make money. Genre? Is that okay?
Well, I mean, it's more of like a technique, but it's definitely creating a subgenre.
The subgenre or the technique of found footage can make money, and so they came out. We've had a lot of them now, and it was like hit, miss, 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 and then hit. And then for me, Chronicle I thought was really, 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 really cool. And then Josh Trank,
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Trank came out with Chronicle, and then so there was all these misses. Then people were like, okay, maybe you can do this again, and then again, miss, miss. So we have this film, and then again, it's not a good sign. We're in January right now. This was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah.
Previews came out with this in the theater last year.
Seems like a long time ago, yeah.
And so that's not a good sign. And then they changed the name of the movie, and I can only assume, and I don't know, I'm completely just making this up, but I assume that you're gonna put ALMANAC in the film because of Back to the Future Part 2 and a little homage. So, I mean, that's like one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put Back to the Future Part 2 in there, man? Woo! You very smoking good. But I will say there's a couple scenes that look good when he's drawing the smiley face on his younger self and then it's appearing on his life.
Yeah.
That was cool. And then for me, time travel is always fun. But the thing with time travel is if you don't make a script that's smart, you're gonna just look stupid.
Well, and that's another thing I want to talk about is the subgenre of, my favorite probably genre of sci-fi is time travel. I've always been obsessed with time travel, and I think it's one of the genres that film has always kind of gotten right in the sense that it really kind of brings out the imagination of what we could possibly do. Now, I'm not saying that time travel movies always hit because that's farthest from the truth, but we have a lot of great films. We have, like you mentioned, Back to the Futures, which you cannot top. We also have films like The Terminator. We have films like Bill and Ted. These comedy movies or not so serious movies that are still really, really awesome in time travel. A great movie with the original, one of the original Supermans, Christopher Reeves, called Somewhere in Time. There's so many that I can't even name them all, but there is, The Butterfly Effect, which was a really popular film early in the 2000s. Ashton Kutcher, yeah. So I really enjoy this genre, so I think hopefully it brings something new to it, because kind of going back to Fatal Attraction, The Boy Next Door, which was a new addition to that kind of Fatal Attraction subgenre, it didn't really bring anything new, and that's where the issue lies. If you want to tell this story, bring something new to it. So I'm looking forward to that. Found footage, again, I think is a really great technique to help young filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers, or even, modern filmmakers to save money and to keep low on a budget. However, I know a lot of people who can't watch the quote-unquote shaky cam, who just can't watch a film and get along with it because it's too shaky or too distracting. I know that I've seen plenty of films where I'm not sure why people are filming at this point in time. I'm not sure how they're getting certain shots, or things like of that nature, or it just doesn't make sense that they're filming in the first place. End of Watch, I absolutely loved.
End of Watch was beautiful.
I absolutely loved End of Watch, but there are elements of it because it is kind of part found footage and then part not. But I think that's kind of distracting that they kind of go back and forth, and like that whole thing where the gangsters film themselves committing crimes and doing things. I didn't buy that. That's just an example, but I still really enjoyed that movie. But there are other times where I'm just not necessarily sure that it always works, because I think it does make audiences kind of go, well, I wouldn't, if I had a camera, why would I do that, hold that there? And Chronicle is a movie that a lot of people are comparing this film to, because it kind of has that same teenager group feel who, stumble upon something greater and more supernatural than, we actually know to exist, and it's found footage. I was not super crazy about Chronicle. I didn't think it was terrible, but it didn't like really hit home to me. I don't really remember much. I do remember the ending of the film, thinking it was way too grandiose towards the end. But anyway, Project Almanac, let's see how they do it, and I hope they bring something new to this genre.
Hour and 45 in.
Yeah,
we're hoping it's good.
Let's do it.
And we'll be back. All right, guys, so we just got out of Project Almanac, also formerly known as
Almanac. Welcome to Yesterday.
Welcome to Yesterday.
And Cinema
then before
One.
that, Cinema One. And how that makes any sense,
I have no idea why it's called.
nobody even knows.
Cinema One.
Moving on, moving forward very quickly. All right, so we just got out chasing cinema. Everyone wants to know. Did it let you down?
Project Almanac is not a wonderful film. It's not a good film. I think that it also falls in that kind of range where it's not a movie that I hated. I didn't think it was the worst movie I've seen, but it goes in what we were talking about, kind of limbo land. It's one of those movies that you forget, and you go, oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about. It was that one movie where that time travel thing, right? And you go, oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. And that's what's sad, because like we talked about in the previous weeks, especially, a lot of these films that are coming out right now are films that I don't hate and I don't love, but I'm just forgetting about quickly, faster than I can blink. And I think this is the film that's just going to go right in there. Very stereotypical characters. We have these group of friends who stumble upon a time machine. And I think there are two major mistakes that I have at Project Almanac that really kind of make the film unappealing to me. And number one is that 45 minutes to an hour of the hour and 45 minutes movie is spent on creating this time machine. Well, not creating, but fixing. And to me, if you're going to tell me that you discovered a time machine in your basement and I'm running with it, I'll run with you that it works. You don't got to tell me that we have to build it and shoot science talk. I understand in the sense that maybe the filmmaker was trying to get us to understand these characters as
logic,
their personalities, and trying to make them individual characters and us get to know them. However, it hurt the film, because by the time we get to the good stuff and get to the time travel and really get our hands kind of in these consequences, because as we've learned in time travel, if you go back in the past, you're going to change the future. And these characters are aware of that. They're smart of that. In the movie, they literally watch multiple time travel films. The only one that really shows Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And they understand that things can change in the future. But yet, they are still relentless and shocked when it actually happens. But my major mistake is they spent way too much time in that hour. And then they, in the next 15-20 minutes is them going and winning the lottery and going to Lollapalooza and seeing Imagine Dragons. And I'm just saying, if I time travel, Lollapalooza wouldn't be on top of my list. Though it is said in the film they can't go back that far just yet. I'm still not worried about Lollapalooza. Another major issue I had with the film is that I think the movie had a great direction. I don't know if you'll consider this spoiler alerts. I'm pretty sure it's associated with the trailer. I could be wrong though, because I have a terrible memory. But this is not the ending spoiler, but it's the story spoiler. So our main character, whose dad created this time machine, dies in a car accident. And this is something we hear by opening dialogue. It's not like an event that happens in the movie. And as he's building this time machine, we realize that his mission is to go back and save his father. Now, to me, I find that is a very fascinating and interesting plot, and I think that's something I wanted to fulfill. However, they kind of forget about that, and they push it to the side, and
get Maseratis instead of 17 crores.
They do stuff like that, and then it kind of falls into a love story and being able to go back and fix a moment and maybe make a connection work. And they get so caught up in that when when it comes to a climax, it's very anticlimactic. There's no real heart or emotions in it. I mean, spoiler alert, I guess, when this kid finally goes back and sees his father, this scene should be boom right in the gut, and it's not. It's like, all right, like what's, it just doesn't work. And I think those are the two major issues with the movie, is that it didn't go in the right direction and then ended up changing course where I think it should have went, where it would have produced a lot of heart and emotion that I could have connected to, and the fact that the movie spent way too much time dilly-dallying rather than getting into it. Because I think the aspect of these kids trying, this one kid in particular trying to fix his mistakes and go back and try to find each minute in every timeline to fix everything and make it go back to normal was a really exhilarating moment, but unfortunately it only lasts 15 minutes, and it's like, okay, it's a little bit too little too late. I also, didn't care for the fact that it felt like I was watching an MTV show. Every 15 minutes, I think 1/3 of the film was a musical montage where they were playing a really popular song and everyone's doing a montage. Like, if you ever watch an MTV show, I was waiting for that black bar to pop up to say the song and artist and the Shazam button. Like, that's what I was waiting for. That's what I felt I was watching. So that was just kind of a bummer. The found footage really, and I didn't think helped the story. I don't think it told it in a better way. I honestly would have rather just been watching it from, a not a found footage aspect. I understand it, and it was part of the story eventually, but overall I still think it didn't really help the film.
ChasingCinema.com/
Project Almanac.
so you can read the full-on review written by
Myself.
Chasing Cinema. How many stars? 4.
Now 4.
Out of 4.
A lot of the films that are coming out right now are sitting at the 1-star range, and I don't think this film's gonna be much different. Again, I didn't hate it. I will say, like,
I didn't hate it, but it gets the lowest score that you can possibly give a film.
Well, the lowest score is 0.5, and it doesn't get that. But it isn't like Mordecai where it's tough to get through. I got through the movie, and I was watching the movie. It's just it's overall, it's one of those movies you go, they could have done this, 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 and this to fix this issue. It was a movie that I absolutely hated, though, and I needed to get out of the theater for.
So he watched that. I just finished Loft. So if you haven't seen that review, check that review, because that's available also on Chasing Cinema, or YouTube.com/Chasing Cinema. Facebook and Twitter, like and follow the man.
Yes, please.
And then in 7 days from today, we're gonna be back here at AMC Town Square in Las Vegas to check out.
And we're gonna be out of water with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward, and Sandy.
For the SpongeBob, I've never seen one cartoon before.
Are you serious?
Never seen it. Because I'm watching the other movie, which is
Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending with Channing Tatum, which has been pushed by the Wachowski siblings, and hopefully they can bring back the Matrix fire.
And Seventh Son, which is with Jeff Bridges.
That does not look good to me. It looks like a bootleg Dragon's Lair, bootleg Lord of the Rings, bootleg Hobbit, bootleg I don't know, man.
Well, we're gonna have to see. We'll be covering all 3 of those films next week. But to go back to SpongeBob, it blows me away you've never seen a cartoon. I watched the cartoon, but it came a little bit late. I wasn't necessarily a kid when the show came out, but I watched it. My girlfriend Samantha, though, who has been on a few of the videos we talk about sometimes, she loves that show, and she really showed me how to appreciate SpongeBob. But though this is kind of newer and it's not the same style, I'm still really excited for that movie. I'm probably more excited for that than anything else.
Yeah, because in the TV show, are they in Earth? Not on Earth? No, right?
No. That I don't know. I'm assuming
in the trailer they're on Earth.
Yeah.
With us.
No, I'm pretty sure they're in the ocean on Earth.
Okay, are they?
Yeah, I believe so. I could be wrong.
Are there humans?
Don't quote me. Like, I'm not a SpongeBob expert.
Are there humans
in this movie?
In the cartoon?
No. Well, we don't ever go. Well, I think so. I think they go up once or twice and they see people, but it's like real life mixed in. But anyway, the older episodes are good. The newer episodes not so great. But again, I'd have to ask Samantha.
And this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, we're expecting the new Jurassic World trailer. We're expecting
a new Terminator.
The new Terminator trailer. And those are all available on YouTube.com if you haven't seen them. I've already seen all of them.
There's something coming out that I have not watched that's going to be...
The Minions has one that's made just for the Super Bowl. That was pretty good. You know what I don't like about it is... And I understand, I guess, but I don't like how I've seen them all already. One of the things I love about the Super Bowl is I can watch these commercials for the first time and enjoy them. And they're all on the internet already. And then I guess some of the thinking is, well, the people, they're not trying to cater to the James Shoes that are on YouTube watching, waiting for these to appear. Yeah. It's for middle America, I shouldn't say middle America, it's for the rest of America that 100 million people are going to watch this game on Sunday, and those people aren't on YouTube looking for trailers.
Well, that's kind of an interesting thing where it's like, a lot of people I know who actually don't even watch Super Bowl for the game. They watch for the commercials. Commercials are a huge aspect of the Super Bowl. And, I haven't watched any. I'm trying to save them for the Super Bowl, but in all honesty,
don't matter.
If you have someone who's YouTubing your commercial for a brand because they think it's funny, and they're going out of their way to watch a commercial, hey, you're doing something right. More power to you. Why not release it to the public? As far as trailers, though, I'm going to try to wait try to see it on a big screen. Terminator, Jurassic World, and the Minion one. I think there might be another one that I'm forgetting.
Universal has a lot.
Yeah,
it's on NBC this year.
They have a few that I'm interested in seeing. But do you have a pick for the Super Bowl?
I already put $100 down.
Ooh,
Patriots.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
my boys aren't there. The Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
We didn't make it in.
I'm gonna.
He caught that.
Just
saying.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks, so we'll see who wins.
You're annoying. All right, and so
You're annoying.
Did you see? Oh, this has nothing to do with movies, but did you see the GoDaddy commercial?
No.
It got banned. Did you see it, Ken? Oh, it's so awesome about the dog.
Dog.
I
It's
heard
so
about
awesome. It's I guess because they're saying it's animal.
They fun about Bud.
Yeah, it's
and animal cruelty.
it's awesome.
Yeah, I heard.
Anyway,
Awesome. So
if you
animal
haven't seen our
cruelty, it's
review
awesome.
for the most violent year, also
Yes.
check that out on this channel. We'll be back, guys, in 2 days to the Super Bowl, or 3 days, 4 days, whatever for the Super Bowl. 7 days back here.
Let's do it.
ChaseCinema.com's the film lovers
Website.
website.